All right, welcome back to the Gritty Business Podcast. My name is Matt Moline, and today I am talking with Erica Riggs over at Disability Law Group, located right in our backyard here of Troy, Michigan. We got a really good deep look into some of the successful strategies that they put in place to propel their company forward, but also looking at how they become a data-centered company, a data-first company, and using that data to propel themselves forward. But all of this has led them to over 650 Google reviews, all 5-star, which is amazing and a huge accomplishment by itself. It truly means that they're doing great and wonderful work over there. I'm very happy about this interview. I was excited to sit down and talk with Erica. I really learned a lot, so I think you're going to enjoy this, so stay tuned. All right, so welcome back. So today I've got Erica Riggs from Disability Law Group. Eric, thanks for coming out, or thanks for virtually hanging out with us today. I want to go ahead and just, if you can, go ahead and just give me a quick rundown of just who you are and what's your company about.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I absolutely love seeing everything you guys do in the community, and I think it's great that you have this podcast. I'm honored to be here. So my name is Erica Riggs. I'm a founding partner here of Disability Law Group. My partners and I started this law firm back in 2019. It's crazy to me to believe it's already been over 6 years, but we specialize in helping people with disabilities, all kinds of disabilities, physical, mental, cognitive, combination. We really pride ourselves on the work that we do, and we're based here in Troy, Michigan.
Awesome. Who are you outside of your work role?
That's a great question, because I feel like sometimes we forget, us busy, business owners. It's important to remember, who we are, and before we became business owners and mothers or parents and all of these things. But well, outside of the business world, I'm a mother. I have 2 very active, busy boys, Alexander and Elijah. So my boys are 11 and soon to be 9 years old. And we're really active in the community together. We play a lot of sports together. We coach them. I coach them in soccer. My husband coaches them in football, flag football. We do martial arts together. I'm actually a martial art instructor, and that's how I met my husband. So don't mess with me.
Oh my goodness. So martial arts, you've got 2 busy boys. We do share that. I've got 2 boys of myself. They're a little younger though. So I've got a 2.5-month-old, and I've got a almost 3-year-old as well. So that's, I can relate a little bit to all of that, but that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. No, can you give me a quick just rundown, elevator pitch, if you will, of who is Disability Law Group? Who's the clients that you guys serve? Well, let's start with that.
Yeah, absolutely. My elevator pitch. Okay. So here at Disability Law Group, we specialize in helping people obtain their Social Security disability and veterans disability benefits. To us, every client matters. We take that very seriously. And we know that when you hire us here at Disability Law Group to help you win your disability benefits, this is a lifeline for so many people, financially, in terms of the insurance. And so when you hire us, you get a team of warriors that are really going to advocate for your rights and protect your benefits and just be there for you to help you at every step of the way. As far as the clients that we help certainly veterans obtain their service-connected disability benefits, and also their families. There's a lot of family-type benefits that many veterans don't realize are available for them if they were to pass away, say from one of their service-connected disabilities. And it's important to have a law firm that truly cares and that provides that specialized, comprehensive support for not just you, but for your family, and really looking out for your well-being. And so we help veterans with that. We also help people, could be civilians, could be veterans, could be anyone, even children, obtain the disability benefits through Social Security. So for children, that looks like supplemental security income, or SSI payments. And many disability firms don't help children because quite frankly, there's really not probably much money for them to be, potentially to be collected. And so we find that, this is a available, benefit for children that parents have a hard time understanding and navigating on top of, balancing their child's health condition and treatment and everything else, right? So dealing with government benefits can be complex and frustrating. And so we really pride ourselves on helping everybody in need in our community. So it could be children, it could be adults who maybe are not able to work any longer because of their health condition, whether related to service or not. And there are many different types of disability programs, that we help with as well.
No, that's amazing. Can you maybe let's back up kind of the beginning of this journey for you guys. How did it start? My understanding is you guys were working, or you in particular, I know you're working at a firm prior, but maybe like, why did you pick this specific, call it vertical category, specific type of law that you guys are practicing over there? Why put all the effort into doing that, I guess, is my question.
I think it's so important to specialize. There's a lot of attorneys, just like any other industry. I'm sure you see this too in your line of work, that, they kind of dabble in this or that, or they do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but not any one thing really well. And so we feel it's really important to specialize in this area of law. It's complicated. The laws are ever changing, the regulations, and the types of, benefits that may be available for our clients. And so we really feel like it's important to really niche down and be inundated in this, so that we're really mastering the law and we're staying up to date on what benefits are available and what could affect our clients' rights and their ability to collect the benefit. For me, I always knew that I wanted to be an attorney. But to be honest, the specific area of law was not always on my radar. In fact, my law school, I went to Wayne State University for undergrad and also for law school. And they offer a ton of different types of clinical programs. I really loved my time at Wayne State. I can't sing enough praise for them. I loved it. I loved commuting. I loved the energy being downtown Detroit, the class offerings, but we just didn't have anything specific to veterans when I was in law school. So I didn't have that ability to be exposed through the educational setting. And it wasn't until I met my now partner, Randall, in law school, where he said to me, you should apply. You should apply. We're looking for law clerks, and I think you'd really enjoy it. It's a meaningful area of law. I think you'll really like it. And we're looking for somebody who speaks Spanish. And so I think that'd be a great fit. So I interviewed and I didn't hear anything for like a month or so. And I remember I was planning my wedding at the time. So I just figured, I need to get the job. And then I get a call back and I did get the job. And it was great. Honestly, I fell head over heels for this area of law. I definitely knew pretty soon that this was going to be something that I was going to make a career out of. And I honestly, I'm so glad that I did. I would tell my children every day how honored, how happy, how proud I am that I get to wake up and do this. I get to wake up and help people fight for benefits that they might not otherwise be able to obtain without our help. So.
No, that's great. So it's very apparent that there's a passion, obviously, for veterans. What some people might even know about us is we've got a few veterans on our team as well that run the show here behind the scenes. And you've even helped. We ran into each other. I think it was at a golf outing for one charity event, I think, and then we were hosting a veterans charity, and I know you guys helped us out with that too, which was awesome. So it's cool to see that we both have a heart, for people like that, and it's great to see that. Yeah, you get to wake up every day, and it seems like you're definitely doing what you love, which is awesome. Let's pivot just a little bit into one of the things you said just recently is a lot of other firms or people, they tend to want to do, they dabble, they do one thing over here, they do over this, and they're kind of do more of a blanket approach. You said you're doing things really well, and it seems like you really have a laser focus on what you guys are doing. Like you said, the law is changing all the time. I think there's a lot of benefits to having that laser focus that's there. What types of things are you? What are some commonalities that maybe you guys are seeing in your space where you said some veterans or people with disabilities are not getting the care that they have? I'd love to know more about where things are falling short in the world and how are you guys helping those people? So what are the common things that you guys are seeing?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, there's so many challenges that people with disabilities face. And I think that, navigating government benefits alone when you're dealing with, the red tape. I mean, the wait times just kind of is like a roller coaster. I mean, we measure that and we track that so that we can provide really clear wait times and sort of just what to predict, what to expect. That's really important for a client who may not have ever gone through this process before. And maybe they have. Maybe they've hired at a different law firm before and they weren't successful, or maybe they went at it, on their own at some point in time and they weren't successful. So it's really important to us that we do set ourselves apart and that we're looking at the numbers, we're looking at our data, we are providing really clear communication and what to expect for our clients, because they're struggling with not predicting or being able to predict when a tragedy might strike, right? We generally don't plan for those types of things or know when it's going to happen, and it's not always as sudden as a car accident or something like that. It could be more of a degenerative or progressive condition. But no matter what, you're dealing with the health providers and you're dealing with your doctor's appointments, and there's so much uncertainty about all of it. So we really pride ourselves on providing that clarity and the confidence of what sets us apart and what they can expect working with us. And then just fighting, doing the hard work, really mastering the medical records and the conditions and communicating with our clients' doctors to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to help our clients win.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I know you guys have grown, especially in the last few years. How many people are actually with your organization now?
So we started out, like I said, in 2019. It was just my partners and I, and we had 2 support staff at the time. And if you check on my bio page on our website, you'll see we had folding tables and chairs in here, and we've since literally knocked down the walls and have expanded so much in that brief period of time. We now have over 50 people. And it's really a combination of people here in the office, people fully remote, people hybrid, some virtual assistants, and it's been a lot of growth in a short period of time. Very grateful for that.
What do you think would be some of the key, call it strategies, or what are some of the keys to success? Because obviously there's a lot to bring somebody on, and as an employee. What, I guess let's take this in a couple parts. Obviously there's a need for what you guys do. How much has that played into the success of your overall growth of the business?
Yeah, I think that's important. I think marketing plays a role, of course, in any industry, and the legal industry is no exception. We hear that the cases don't always go to the best attorneys. They may go to the best marketers. And so we realize that it's very important to put ourselves out there, make sure we're marketing and we're in the community, and we're finding out the ways that our team likes to get involved and get out there, so that it's something that we're passionate about. It's something that is true to our brand. And so I attribute a lot of that success to just really doing what we love and making the time to get out there and volunteer. And we also take pro bono cases on from time to time. And I think that sets us apart. Taking some cases at different levels of the process really reinforces our level of expertise, because we are able to help our clients from the very start, to set that application up for success all the way through appeals. And for our Social Security clients, that looks like all the way up to the federal court level, the United States District Court. I'll be posting a video here on our website and social here soon, where I talk about a case that another law firm has referred over to us after they lost at the hearing level and before. They appealed it to the appeals council. They lost at that level for their Social Security disability case, and then they couldn't take it anymore. So they refer those cases to me. We review them here carefully, determine what the best arguments are in the strategy. And in that situation, for the hearing that I had last week, we were able to get a client approved back. We had approved disability back to 2009. So a very, very long time in order for her to be eligible. And that, again, requires a level of mastery and commitment and dedication that I think really sets us apart and helps fulfill that need that exists in the community.
Absolutely. Definitely, there's definitely a need. I can see that that you guys are really, stepping up and obviously making a difference in that, which is great. Some of the things you kind of talked about, one thing I was kind of curious on marketing. That's one thing we always, even though we're like in the IT side of things, we get the marketing questions and it's like, well, it's not really anything we really handle. I'm curious for what has worked for you guys. And I know it's not something I was kind of, we didn't talk about this kind of previous, but just curious, how people are finding you, like what's working as far as, call it marketing tactics or anything like that. But what are you seeing working for you guys?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And for us, we really have a diverse reach in terms of our marketing. Many of our cases come from word of mouth and other attorneys, like the example I just gave, and also from Google. So we run certain ads on Google, but we also see what we call organic leads come in from Google as well. And that is not something that you can pay for. That is something that takes time, and really what the Google algorithm is looking for when a client or prospective client might be searching for a disability attorney near me or a veterans benefits attorney near me or what benefits are available. And so that's where our client reviews come into play, because I just checked and I was like just blown away. We have 650 five-star reviews. We are officially the highest rated disability firm in the entire state.
650. That's pretty amazing. We definitely need to step up our game on that, on that a little bit. I think we're like 60 or 70 on there. All 5-star reviews, but definitely we could use more. But 650 reviews is pretty amazing. How are you? Is it just people out of the kindness of their hearts saying, "Hey, thank you. We want to," or are you prompting for that in any way? I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah. No, we definitely ask for them. I think that's important. I think that what I found is that, and I'm especially mindful of this as a business owner over the years, people tend to like to leave reviews if they're upset. They want to go out of their way. They want to vent. They want to tell you about what a terrible service or meal or whatever it might have been, right, that they had. They're not always likely, I think statistics will show, to leave good or positive reviews. They're just maybe happy and kind of go on and maybe not think about leaving that Google review. So we definitely do ask our clients for them. Not always do we receive them back. And it could be because of technology barriers. It could be because of some of our clients and some of our older veteran clients might not even use the computer or know how to get onto Google on their phone. So, our Vietnam era veterans, for example, but, we still ask for them. I think that's important because prospective clients should hear what, non-biased or what other people who have actually used a service, how they felt and what experience they have had. And so, we do ask that they do that, and some do and some don't. And the ones that do, I absolutely love reading those. We share them with our team. And it plays a big role, like you were talking about, with marketing. So I think we attribute a lot of our success to that. But as far as marketing dollars spent, we do like a little bit of a mix of lead generation, especially in the early days of our business where we didn't have already so many clients to be able to have reviews from. We're just starting out. And then as we've evolved, it's really important, and I'll probably speak about this throughout, is data. Knowing your numbers is critical. So you don't want to just be spending and throwing money in marketing. We don't do billboards or TV or radio or anything like that. Certainly not at this time. But it's important to know where your clients are coming from, whether it be attorneys, word of mouth, ads that you're running, organic. And then from there, you can kind of see the kind of cases that you're looking for that's working, and you can reassess and reallocate your marketing dollars as needed.
One of the key things you said right there was data. I cannot stress that enough. That's one thing I've learned over the years, and especially being in the role that we are here, data is everything. We don't make a decision unless we have data supporting. It's not a hunch or a feeling or just because we like doing it this way. You need to move in any good successful business that I've seen. It really is data centered, and they are really analyzing and understanding the data. Now you can almost have too much data, but the point is that no business decision that we make, we need the data behind it to support it. So let's kind of pivot into kind of the business strategy a little bit, because obviously that's part of the strategy is how are you guys using that data to excel and move you guys forward and achieve your goals?
Well, I think it's important to evolve and know and understand what's out there. There's a lot of facets to this. And I think to stay relevant, you have to constantly be educating yourself on what's available, whether it be AI, right? That's certainly a topic that you're seeing all over the place right now. And it's uncomfortable for a lot of people for many reasons, right? It was uncomfortable for me, admittedly. It's just something that I just hadn't really worked a lot with cognizantly, and just wondering, what's available. We were at a coaching workshop. We have business coaching through a company called Crisp that was founded through Michael Mogul. And it's a company that is really laser focused on law firm owners and, like-minded, growth-minded law firm owners to really level up what they're doing and help expand their reach. So I was at a workshop back in March, and we learned so much about all of the different AI tools and the resources and the platforms, and they're changing constantly. The speaker actually talked about how he had to, update his PowerPoint presentation for us that morning because something had changed. So it's tough when you're, from my perspective, right? You're doing hearings, you're mentoring new attorneys and your staff, and you're growing, and you have a leadership team, and you're doing work in the community and so many things. They don't teach you about the technology and marketing piece in law school. I don't have a business degree. And so it's something that I just really make sure I make the time for, and quite honestly, hire the people that know more than I do about this kind of stuff so that we can really understand our data, leveraging technology, leveraging AI, and, be able to measure the things that we need to measure to make decisions based off of that.
Absolutely. What are you guys, as far as your data is concerned, what are you guys tracking? What's important to you? Obviously, one thing that's out there that you guys have is, a lot of Google reviews. And so obviously you're making happy customers, but it sounds like you have a more kind of a granular approach to some of the information that you guys are getting. Would you mind sharing just a little bit about what's been successful for you?
Yeah, full disclosure too. I don't want to scare anybody. I'm sure, listening, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are way more inundated in this area than even I am. I'm always striving to be better. But that said, we measure our leads, where our clients or prospective clients might be coming from, what pages or, areas within marketing might be performing better or worse than others. And, we're looking at all sorts of things from where those clients are residing and how old the clients are and what types of benefits they might be eligible for. We also measure once they are converted and they do become a client. We measure everything from what level of the case they might come in at, how many clients per month. We measure how many hearings per month per attorney, what our favorable win rate is per attorney. And for the firm, that's very important to constantly be striving to improve and make sure that we're meeting our goals. We do have key performance indicators for our team, which is fairly recent. And it's just really something that we can set some clear goals and expectations for our team so they know what to strive for and what excellence looks like and what expectations are. So we're measuring those kinds of things. And even after a case is won, we don't consider our job to be over there. We want to make sure the client actually receives everything that they're entitled to. And if there's questions afterwards, how can we do better in terms of being clearer and communicating that at every single stage of the case? So we measure quite a bit. We could, we're always working to improve and measure more, but you're right. I mean, you really can have too much data sometimes. You don't want that to stifle your creativity or decision-making ability. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm amazed at what we can track, especially like being on the, on our side, being on, on the customer service side of things. Like we did a just for fun, we did a kind of a study just to see the types of like how people's moods are actually affected by the weather, by the support tickets that we had coming in per particular day. And we actually ran like a report. It's hilarious. That type of stuff. But like, how do you use that? You really can't. It's cool to have, but it's just something that's there, right? So
right.
So, kind of going off this a little bit. Obviously, there's challenges and obstacles. Things are changing for you guys, and you guys got to pivot and shift. I'm sure working, and seeing everything goes on with all the government stuff that goes on. Changes here and there. What are maybe some key challenges that you guys run into, and how do you guys as a team continue to navigate them?
So aside from sort of the focus point of a client, where we talked about the government wait times and the red tape and the processes and all of that, but some other key changes internally include, how do we as a team understand what challenges we might be facing, our clients might be facing as those evolve, taking feedback from our clients, taking feedback from our team, and making sure that we're really meeting regularly and consistently to identify, those pain points and really help each other. Maybe that means that we need to measure different kinds of data with this information. Maybe we learn that we need to come up with a solution together. And so we're, kind of meeting all hands on deck, but also within smaller group settings. So within areas of the team or within the departments to try to identify what challenges we might be faced with that day, that week, that month, that year. So I think it's important to have strong, consistent communication channels open with your team and with your clients, just to make sure that we are understanding what's going on, not just the legal landscape or the government side of things, but internally how we can do better with our processes and making sure that we're delivering the optimal client experience.
Do you feel your guys' use of tech, especially staying ahead or trying to, obviously navigating, trying to stay ahead, does that have any influence in the people that are looking to work with you guys? Just kind of curious.
Yes, I think absolutely. Something that we've done kind of recently in terms of, utilizing technology and leveraging some of the new ways of thinking and the new platforms to really streamline our processes and our client communication has been utilizing our CRM to really help with each part of the process. So what I mean by that is if a client comes in and maybe they're starting with us from scratch, they've not filed an application, let's say for Social Security disability, and we're going to help them with that application. We have everything in place to take it all the way through so many levels of appeal if needed. Now, sometimes we can get the client approved right at the initial application level. The government denies around 70% of applications, which is just crazy to think that it's that high.
70%. Well, is there a rhyme or reason to that? I got to ask.
I wish I knew. I knew, the less they pay out, the more they keep, essentially. Right. So, I think a lot of people may get just, frazzled by that. They may be disappointed. They might lose hope and not want to pursue appeals or know what options are available for them. So, as far as us trying to utilize technology and what really sets us apart is we, putting into play in each part of the process that automations essentially, which will automatically notify the client at each stage of the process what's going on. We create and embed videos so that way, our clients can view them at any time to prepare them or to help them understand what's going on, whether it be a new stage in the process or paperwork they might receive or an exam that the government might want to send them on to see one of their doctors. A lot of times Social Security sends claimants on consultative examinations, and the Department of Veteran Affairs will send veteran clients on compensation and pension examinations, and those can be daunting, not knowing again what to expect. So we want to prepare the client as best as we can and really think about what would we want to know if we were in their shoes. So we've really been honing in on fine-tuning our processes. And I think that, that leads to happier clients, that leads to more reviews, that leads to more word of mouth referrals. It really is, it all plays a role.
Kind of going off that a little bit, and something you said just a little while ago, like you were kind of looking into the AI stuff a little bit. What have you seen? What maybe are you excited about? And maybe what are you potentially a little fearful about? Because like you said, AI is being talked by everybody, but I haven't necessarily had the conversation with some folks in the law space yet to say, what are you guys seeing? What's being kind of proposed out there? How do you think you guys are going to maybe use that and as you continue to adapt and be competitive?
Yeah, great question. So to answer that in terms of what I would be fearful about first, in terms of a law firm owner and looking at what we do here, which is helping people obtain their disability benefits, the biggest thing that comes to mind is being HIPAA compliant. So making sure that whatever platforms we're using, are HIPAA compliant. So we do a lot of research. We spend a lot of time before we launch anything new or we try anything out. We want to make sure that we're protecting privacy first and foremost. That's very important to us and in everything that we do. And however, on the other side of that, as long as we can make sure that we are confident in the privacy and the use of whatever new technology might be available, just understanding how we can best use it to serve our clients, whether it be sort of summarizing medical records to be able to identify testing and surgeries and different things that's helpful for us as attorneys, but also looking at statistics in terms of judges and translations, for clients who our attorneys and staff here speak English and Spanish, Arabic, Chaldean, and there's other languages our clients speak as well. So it's really important that, if we can utilize technology and different platforms to help with those things, we can do that. And there's also platforms that integrate with your CRM to help with the client experience and help collect data. Really even just today in our podcast, there's something that maybe even you're using. There's like Dialpad and different platforms that can take notes for you and help summarize, and give you a plan of action or next steps. So there's a lot that can be done with it that is exciting as well. Very
cool. I like the insight to that. Let's go into just kind of the people at your guys' company. I think one of the key aspects of a successful business, I don't think I've seen it, is, the leadership style. There's some key factors into that. What are maybe some principles and some core values that you guys carry and that you would say contribute to the overall growth of your company?
Yeah, I love that question. I love talking about core values. I could do it all day. It's so important. It's really the core of who we are as a company, what we live and breathe. And for us, that is improving lives. That's what we're all about. That's the work that we do literally improves clients' lives, and not even just our clients, also our team as we grow and the incentives that we have in place for them, and also our community. The work that we do in our community is so very important. It's always led by our core values. So improving lives, our core values literally spells out lives. So it's listen, invest, vigor, empathy, and solutions. It starts with, the front lines and listening to our clients and what their needs are, whether it's something we can help with, how to best approach that, to maybe they need a referral for another area of law, another area of specialty, whatever that might be. It always begins with just really actively listening, and then ultimately ending with solutions, getting to that best solution for us, for the client. And so we lead that way in everything we do. And then you mentioned, Matt, leadership style, leadership team as well. We more recently developed a leadership team here. We have a director of operations that oversees much of what the inner workings of our firm. We also recently have a learning and development manager. We're very excited about this role. It's brand new. It's nothing that I've ever witnessed in my prior jobs or firms that I've been affiliated with. So it's been something really special. We've been learning as we go, but it's really important as we onboard new people, as we look to our team to hear what types of feedback they have and how we can improve. That's where this space becomes really crucial. Understanding every single task that every single person does so that we have a strong training program centered around that. And so we have various positions within the firm that help fine tune every little thing and help make sure that we are operating as efficiently as we can. We also have a client experience manager whose sole focus is to, really just that, making sure that we are delivering that optimal client experience centered around our core values.
Wow, you guys are really going deep into it. Maybe let's talk about some of the team dynamics then, because obviously you got different personalities, just different groups of people, everybody doing different tasks. One of the biggest things that you need to do is obviously have good collaboration. So, and, overall morale, with your team. What are some of the things that you guys are doing that have led to obviously continued, collaboration and maintaining morale? Like what are some of the things you guys have seen have worked? Because I've seen, unfortunately, some firms that don't do it well at all. They kind of have some high turnover. It seems like you guys have got something going on there that's working. So what's the secret sauce, if you don't mind me asking?
Thank you. Yes, I think that there is no true secret sauce. I think it's important that you know your team, that you experiment and try different things, that you aren't just, providing a free lunch and, here, have at it. And you're really involved and invested in your team and in the culture, so that it's really genuine and sort of organic. We're always celebrating our employees for their accomplishments, promoting when we're able to, just celebrating them inside and outside the office. We just recently had our all hands meeting where we brought in a member from our coaching company I talked about, and also outside guest speakers, really to help set up the tone for the year. And they helped us in collaborating in a positive setting to help with a vision board workshop. Our staff really liked that, kind of set the tone for the year. We had a lot of fun. We took feedback from our staff. We try to take their feedback after every meeting or anything that we do so we can understand from them. Maybe something I think might work really does not work at all, and so I want to make sure that we're listening to that. A few weeks ago, we all got together at a local AR workshop. I don't know if you've heard of that or ever been there.
No, I have not.
It's a lot of fun. There's one in Macomb County. There's one in Rochester Hills where we went. If you haven't been, I highly recommend it. Basically, we chose from different woodworking pieces to create like a home sign or flower bed, and we created personalized basically gifts or pieces that we could take home. And it was nice to do something so vastly different from what we do here in the office, right? We're working with our hands, and we're talking, we're getting together, we're laughing, sharing stories. And I think it was a really great bonding experience. And then right around that time too, recently, we just participated with the Bring Your Child to Work Day, which was an awesome turnout. And it was a great show of how important it is to integrate your family with your work. We wrote letters to veterans that we partnered with local nonprofits to deliver. And so the children we had our VA team actually lead a little mini workshop with children from infants with the help of our volunteer staff to teenagers. They were writing letters and drawing pictures. And we talked about what is a veteran, and we talked about, the different branches. We talked about service and what we do here. And it was really important for them to hear from us what we do. And then, of course, we had to have an ice cream sundae bar. We had to make it fun and sticky and messy and delicious.
You obviously going through, the dynamic changes and maybe some of the heart stopping, things of getting into, into small business. What are maybe some advice that you would give to somebody starting out and starting moving into that direction?
I think the best advice I would give looking back is not to be afraid of failure. It's really important that you are getting yourself out there in whatever pathway or industry you believe speaks to you, that you're passionate about, and you go all in. You're going to make mistakes. That's how you're going to learn. Some of our biggest setbacks and failures have been the biggest learning experience, and some of the most beautiful things and projects and events and just ideas were birthed from those failures. So don't be afraid, and just get yourself out there. The table is not that small. There is plenty of room. You deserve a seat at that table. Push forward and just remind yourself your why. Why are you doing this? Why is this your passion? And, just be creative about it. Leverage technology and your community and get yourself out there.
Was there maybe like a particular lesson that you learned in that journey that has maybe stuck with you that you'd like to share?
Yeah, something that comes to mind that I know my boys love to say, and I think it's so great, is you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And it's a valuable.
I agree with that.
Because sometimes people are so fearful to get themselves out there or to try something new, or, they're so afraid to fail, especially in today's day and age with social media. But I think it's so important to just keep trying and keep getting yourself out there. And another thing too is try to find a mentor, or just continue to try to find mentors and get while you're networking and while you're exposing yourself to new things and new ideas, someone out there has probably tried that already. Whatever it is, whatever industry, whatever idea you have, to some extent, someone has probably tried it or been in your shoes and is willing to help you and help mentor you and help as you grow. And I would say, I wish I would have done more of that earlier on. For the first nearly decade of my career working for a law firm, I was really afraid to, having a young family, to kind of try new things or always bring new ideas to the table. And I wish I would have done more of that and sought out more mentors along the way.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's so important. And that's not something I don't think is talked about too much, especially in the world where, if you have a question, you can Google it, you can go on YouTube. AI is now filling some of those voids about what to do. I do believe there is a disconnect with the human connection to say these are some specific things I definitely would encourage you to avoid or to not do. How that's such a great piece that you brought up is, I guess, how would you go about in today's world, and it could be in your own world, as far as, in the law, side of things, how would you go about asking somebody to maybe be a mentor, or how would you find somebody like doing that? Well, let's go into that a little bit because that's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, looking back for me and just getting into this space, even though I knew I always wanted to be an attorney, I always wanted to help people. The passion was always there, but I didn't have any attorneys in my family. I didn't have a law firm I was going to be taking over that was, in the family for ages. So it's scary. You have to just not be afraid of that failure. You have to believe in yourself. And I think to your point about AI, you have these tools available for you. You can Google, you can leverage AI, you can ask questions and start somewhere. You just got to start. So it could be, asking Google or asking ChatGPT or whatever it is to tell you about what mentors or what people in your community are doing the things that I'm interested in, are doing these things that I have a passion for. And, cold calling is still a thing, emailing, reaching out, utilizing LinkedIn maybe, or different social platforms that are out there. The worst that's going to happen is they're going to tell you no, or they're not going to get back to you. But you'd be surprised how many people, just are never asked. Mm-hmm. And they would love to help you. I know that it's very rare. Every once in a while, maybe once a year, I'll get a call or I'll get an email from somebody, a future potential law student or someone thinking about disability law, and they found me on LinkedIn or Google. And I love taking those calls or setting aside time to meet with them and help provide some advice, coaching, mentorship. I think it's so great. And some of them have ended up becoming law clerks or attorneys here, or just checking in with me and letting me know how thankful they are and what they're doing now. So just don't be afraid to ask. Someone's doing it, and don't be afraid of failure. You've got to believe in yourself.
I would 100% agree with that. That's awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to maybe any other insights that you think would be important for people to understand about what you guys are doing? Maybe any specific stories they'd like to share with us?
Yeah, actually, on our website, if you go under the resources tab, we have tons of case spotlights or blogs that really highlight, specific as we can, give details about a case. And we really love that. We get busy just like anybody does. And I think it's important to showcase the impact that you're having on the lives of whoever it is that you're helping. So you can go on there, you can read. I know a recent one I talked about how a client of mine was involved in a really tragic car accident. And it was a younger woman from Roseville, and she dealt with the aftermath of a really serious traumatic brain injury. Helping her through that, understanding what her rights are. It took years for her to even really be able to understand what type of benefits are available or that she might be eligible. And so Social Security has essentially in place that there's an expiration date on our work credits. So most attorneys don't even know about this. But generally speaking, when you stop working, the clock starts ticking on the expiration date for when you are eligible for your disability. So those benefits that you pay for, the FICA taxes you pay, there's an expiration. If you cannot prove disability, generally speaking, within 5 years of when you stop working and paying in, you may not be eligible for disability benefits under your work record, under the Social Security disability program. So we really want to educate the community and educate other attorneys and people about this, because so many people are fearful of applying, or maybe, they just hope that they're going to get better. And if they don't, or if they're not improved enough to be able to return to work, then this is a benefit available for people. And so I'm really passionate about educating the community and educating people about this. I think it's really important. And so a lot of our case spotlight blogs focus on how we use different kinds of strategies and forms for doctors and condition-specific forms to help prove our client's case. It's really important to constantly be creative and constantly be strategic about what we're doing in all walks of our firm, whether it be advocating for a client, our processes, our team, our community. So I think that's really, really critical.
All right. So I'd be kind of curious to see if, is there any specific instances where you guys have had to, is there any changes in maybe, I don't know. Let me back that up. Is there any time that you guys had something going on within the company that you guys just had to pivot quickly? Everything changed for you. Can you give me insight where you guys had to just adapt really quick?
How much time do you have? I could honestly tell you every single day there is an instance where we have to pivot quickly. But, immediately, of course, I'm thinking about COVID-19. This time, February to March of 2020 was only about 1 year after we opened our doors as brand new business owners here at Disability Law Group. So not only are we a new law firm owners navigating, ownership and hiring needs and technology, all the things we're talking about today, but we're also driving, pre-COVID, driving all over the state or out of the state to attend hearings and, communicate with our clients. Now, post-COVID, we're doing this in what would soon be a completely different world, unlike anything we've ever seen. So I remember at that time, in around February 2019, I'm getting back from a cruise with my family before the schools and government shuts down. And we're seeing a bit more about what was happening, elsewhere around the world. And my partners and we talked about, maybe having people work remote and maybe buying laptops for people. At this time, we did not have very many employees, but we were here in person. We were here in office. And they agreed, immediately they were like, the worst thing is we have to take these laptops back, or we don't need them, but let's pivot, let's try it. Let's spend the time to, maybe work out any kinks that we may have, but it worked flawlessly for us. And it really showed us at that point, and we continue to work, the ability to work fully remote is there for our team if for most of our positions. And it was a real eye-opening lesson for us about the importance of being proactive and leveraging technology to adjust to the change that was happening around us, and not being afraid of acting to the benefit of our team. We want to make sure that everybody was staying healthy. Many other firms at that time and for the years that followed asked the courts for more time for their hearings, so their clients were not able to obtain the benefits as quickly as they potentially would have been able to had they have just availed themselves of the phone and the video hearings, which we continue to have years and years later. And so I think that really set us apart and was a strong lesson in, just brainstorming new ideas and leveraging technology.
I want to pivot just for a second here. I know there's different types of different disability benefits that are out there that people can get. Can you maybe give us some insight, like what's out there? What are people maybe not seeing that you guys are always bringing, light to? I'd like to hear a little more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so important. And, for veterans, a lot of them do not know that there's a potential for them to receive 100% of their service-connected disability benefits and also other forms of benefits without there being an offset between the two programs. So it really maximizes the types of benefits that are available to veterans and their families. And there's also different forms of survivors benefits available for veterans and their families that we help with. We also help anyone who is unable to work due to their health conditions, whether a veteran or not, as I mentioned, children or not, or an adult. And there are many types of disability benefits available under the umbrella of Social Security. The most common one being Social Security disability, which is based on our work history and the accumulation of sufficient work credits to be eligible under what we have paid into. Then there is SSI, which is available for essentially anyone. It could be a child, it could be an adult who has not worked, or a lower wage earner who's not eligible. It could be someone who worked but many, many years ago and cannot prove disability began before their work credits expired. So SSI, unlike SSD, is a resource-based or means and asset-tested program. So you have to be low in resources to qualify, in addition to having a disability, since it's not drawing from your work credits. And then there's also disabled adult child benefit or child disability benefit, which is for disabled adults who can collect off of their parents' work record, actually. But you have to prove that your disability began before that disabled adult child turned 22, and they have to have an eligible parent who is either deceased, disabled on SSD benefits, or retired with sufficient work credits. So in that instance, assuming all of those prongs are met, your child could potentially collect off of your own work record and be eligible for a higher benefit that is not means tested like the SSI program is. And then another one is disabled widows benefits, another program that we help our clients with, which is for widows or widowers who are either age 50 to 60 with a disability that began within 7 years of their deceased spouse's death, or for a widow or widower who is over age 60, in which case the proving disability part of it kind of falls off, and you just need to meet the age criteria to be eligible if your spouse that has passed away has a higher benefit.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool. Well, definitely under that. I'm kind of amazed of the there are benefits for specifically talking about veterans that you can be basically 100% covered. I don't think that's widely known, and I actually know several veterans through my family that that'd be something for them to probably give you guys a call on and see. Yeah. So
even if they have questions, maybe they don't have a rating decision from the VA just yet. Maybe they just have questions. What's going to happen if something happens to me because of this or because of that? Is my wife or is my husband or is my family eligible for something? Or am I getting the full amount of benefits that I should really truly be receiving?
Right.
Veterans can be rated up to 100% and still be working full time, depending on what the rating, what the condition and the criteria is. And so some conditions, may be rated at 0%, 10%, 30, all the way up to 100. And we want to make sure that a number of things are right. We're looking at the big picture here. Is the percentage correct? Is the date of entitlement correct? Are the benefits paid back as far back as they should be? And you would be shocked to hear how many times, maybe not, maybe you wouldn't be shocked, but to hear how many times the VA messes this up and will pay the benefits as of, the date of an exam or a recent date, when truly there was some sort of failure on behalf of the VA, whether it be they sent a notification of a decision to a wrong address, which happens more than you think, or some other reason that we can receive benefits, we can help a veteran receive benefits significantly earlier than what the VA is trying to accomplish with the rating. So we're looking at that. We're also looking at future benefits that are available. There's additional benefits that a lot of veterans aren't aware of, like special monthly compensation. And then, like I mentioned, that there are other disability benefits, including Social Security disability, if the veteran's not able to work.
So I'd be kind of curious to understand, just as things are progressing for you guys are obviously taking a proactive approach. You guys are utilizing technology. I'm very curious on what, in your own eyes, what are you seeing, things moving forward? What's the crystal ball, telling you that where things are going for Disability Law Group?
That's a great question. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly looking at ways to improve, whether it's through leveraging technology and AI like we talked about, or whether it's through investing in our team and in our community. We just recently, last Friday actually, held our largest free legal aid and resource fair, which is really my passion project. It's a one-day sort of comprehensive event that is entirely free and open to the public. Anybody can come out. In the past, we've hosted these in Macomb County and Oakland County. We've recently hosted them in Oakland County, down the way from where our office is in Troy. We've been at the Troy Community Center now for a few years, and we had over 150 people come out, volunteers. Our attorneys were there to provide free legal advice and help the community with things that many attorneys won't help with, like overpayments of benefits and requests for reconsiderations, different things like that. We also partnered with other law firms that specialize in their area of practice so that they could give free legal advice as well. So this is everything from criminal and record expungement to immigration, child custody, adoption help, wills and estate planning, employment law, personal injury, all sorts of different types of areas of law for the community. And we also partnered with Trinity Community Health, who came out and had free health screenings for the community, which was really great. They do a wonderful job every year with us. We had free haircuts available, a kids craft corner for kids to do crafts, so that if their parent wanted to have some private legal advice or wanted to avail themselves of other services, they could do that, and their kiddo could have fun at the same time. All sorts of things. Local nonprofits came out to give free resources. It was a really great time. We just posted a recap on our Facebook and social media pages. So we're looking to, in the future, really expand on those types of initiatives, get out there in the community as much as we can, not just for volunteering, but educational reasons as well, educating the community with what benefits are available, and other law firms even, so that they can kind of look to see that they're providing the best service for their clients. We're also going to be developing a scholarship for our local community as well. So for high schoolers likely who looking at college and possibly law school, we want to be able to offer some sort of financial relief. That's really important to us when talking about the importance of education and in our community. So lots of things in the works we're very, very excited about.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, it's really cool. Well, I really appreciate getting an inside look into, what you guys are doing over there. It's been cool to just get to know you guys a little bit over the years, and to see the growth and to see the success, and obviously the impact that you guys are making for people right here in Michigan. So it's obviously very needed what you guys are doing. I really want to thank you for just taking some time out of your day and for sitting down, talking just through everything. And I just wish you guys the best success moving forward. It's been great to talk with you.
You too. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you out there in the community soon.
Sounds good.